The Kiliwa are human people in the northern part of Baja California that had much of their traditions and oral history documented. Included in this is their creation myth, how the world around them was made, as related by author Jesus Angel Ochoa Zazueta in his 1978 book Los Kiliwa y el mundo se hizo así. When there was nothing, when everything was darkness, when there was no earth, no sky, no water, no fire, when there were no plants, no stars in the horizon, there was no lightning to accompany the thunder, the sun had no warmth, and there was no moon to tell the passing of time. When there was nothing in that darkness, there were no men in that eternal night. Melti Ipa Jala arrived. He carried his large staff, yelling to the pitch black with the voice of coyote. I am Melti Ipa Jala. He yelled and yelled, but no one answered, nor could anyone tell him how long he had been calling out for. Melti Ipa Jala was his own light in that perpetual darkness. As he came from the land of light, he lit up everywhere he went, and with great flints tied his legs, sparks would fly wherever he walked. With his coyote face, he yelled at the darkness, "You're not alone. I am the light." And this is how Melti Ipa Jala brought light to the darkness. But it came with a catch. He realized that he was now all alone. His song turned into distress. Since he was worried that this loneliness would make him sick, he decided to become the father. He went south to a great well, where he took a mouthful of fresh water and spat it south, where it became yellow. He went back to the well, and then went north, doing the same thing, and painting a great body of water there red, that would become Laguna Salada, part of Lake Cahuilla. He was very proud of his new creation, so with great pride he went back to the well, and filled his mouth up as much as he could. But when he went west, and spat out the water, he flooded the entire region. Being a giant, he had one foot in this new great body of water, the Pacific Ocean, and another in what would become the Gulf of California. And that was how the Pacific Ocean was made. This is what made it deep and choppy, and the Kiliwa would not venture in their watercraft there. That is why the entire region of the Great Sea was dyed black, to warn them. Following this, Melti Ipa Jala almost choked. He decided to be more cautious, fetching more water from the southern navel in his mouth. He carefully spit out the fresh water and made the Gulf of California. The waters here were calm, as well as the waves. It was dyed white, so the Kiliwa knew it was safe. He wanted to name each of the 4 regions he created, but realized that the world was still uninhabited. To correct this issue, he decided to recognize a navel, center point, in the sky, as well as another in the earth. So, he spit out the air and made the sky blue, which was dark before, and when he danced, he kicked up earth that compacted and created the land, and it became painted brown. Melti called this the land for the divine people, and thus he began to name his creations, and the lands on the borders were collectively named Ekatmat, the unsettled lands. Melti Ipa Jala took a bundle of tobacco leaves from his chest and pulled out a pipe made from wood and clay. He crushed the leaves, lit the tobacco with his flint, and began to smoke. He realized that by smoking he could keep on creating, and with every puff and exhale he took, he made something new. He fell asleep, dreaming of the southern navel, and his pipe still released smoke, which would become all the paths on heaven and earth. When he woke up, he was happy to see this. He wanted to sing, but he had no one to join him in it. So he ripped a piece of skin and inflated it. He blew 3 times consecutively. He made it big enough so he could fit inside. This is how he made his rattle and sang and sang. Since the earth and sea were lit and covered the earth, he decided to create the mountains. And with the paths created by the smoke, Melti Ipa Jala created 4 mountains to place one in each direction. He revisited each of his creations and gave them their names. Wherever he passed was sacred land. To keep it bundled together, Melti Ipa Jala decided to flay and scalp himself, wrapping the world in a red hide bag. Thus he wrapped himself in the 6 colors he had created, and in the process creating a new one, green. To cover his scalp, he covered it in ashes. He then decided to take another rest, howling at what remained of the darkness. This is how the world was made. This is how the world was made. No one should doubt it. And this is how Melti Ipa Jala created the world and became the Great Father.